Kommo debuts in Generation 9, and while it did lose its Z move in Generation 7, in Gen 8 it did get a new fun tool that raises all its stats by +1 in Clangorous Soul, and this team right here did get second place in an online tournament that I'm really interested to try out. Let's see how well it's going to perform. This is a recreation of a team that got second place in an online tournament that features Kommo, and Kommo is one of my favorite Pokemon since it is a Pokemon that holds a very dear special place in my heart as the Pokemon that allowed me to win my first regional championship. It has changed ever since its Z move. We have Clangorous Soul instead, which is a move that increases all of Kommo's stats by +1, except the drawback is you do exchange 33% of your health, but you can go for it multiple times, which is pretty neat. It's also considered a sound move, so you can get Throat Spray, so you can get an extra +1 special attack. So you actually get +2 special attack and +1 in all of your stats when you use Clangorous Soul with the Throat Spray attached. Following it up is a lot of offensive pressure with the Tailwind Tornadoes for speed advantage, the Flutter Mane with the Choice Specs that can do a lot, the Choice Scarf Landis for speed advantage and the Intimidate, the Okidogi with the Assault Vest to tank attacks, and Snarl to help set up the Kommo, being able to take special attacks better for it to set up a Clangorous Soul, and then the Follow Me Ogerpon as well that can do a ton of damage. If you would like to check out the details of the team from the recreation and the original video that this team was displayed on, and I will also link the original creator who got second place at the online tournament down below in the description if you would like to check it out. Tornadus, Urshifu, Heatran, Rillaboom, Cresselia, Ursaluna. So Tailwind plus the bear. I wonder if the bear has some speed investment into it, because that would... I'm pretty interested on that part. Okidogi is actually really good here. Kommo is not bad, but it really depends on the Terra of... if it's Terra Fairy on one of the Heatran or the Cresselia. How do I want to approach this? I do like... Horn Urshifu is still really scary to play against. Kind of want to go with the... do I want to go Kommo? Horn isn't bad here as a lead. Ogerpon's pretty good. Okidogi and Kommo. Lander's T isn't awful either, but it's not necessary. Although Intimidate is pretty useful. Flutter Mane could be nice, not necessary. Do I think they're going to go to Tailwind mode, I guess is the question. I want to lead Kommo. I think I'm just going to lead Okidogi. This might be an Okidogi Kommo angle. I think I am going to lead Okidogi Kommo. It's really weak to Torn, but I think I could play around it. And then I'm going to have Landers and Ogerpon in the back. Yeah, I think this is the play. It just depends on if... I guess like I should think about my team. My team's really weak to flying coverage, so I think it's more likely that they bring the Torn. So maybe it was better to counteract the Torn and just go with anything else. I mean, it's not too bad. I don't know if I really want to Terra Kommo. I'd probably say no, but yeah. Tornadus Rillaboom, so it's not a terrible lead. It's not ideal, of course. As I lead the Okidogi and the Kommo. I don't know what item you have on the Torn. I think I'm just going to go for a Poison Jab immediately in a Torn. Go into Landers for the Intimidate right off the bat. I do not want damage on the Kommo. It's so valuable to have Kommo healthy. So I'm going to bring out my Landers and just see how the rest performs. I brought 3 Flying Weeks into this though, so this could be concerning. Intimidate off into the Rillaboom and the Torn. Think I'm going to come out. Okay. They do just click Bleak Wind, but they did miss one, which is really nice. They missed the one on Okidogi, which is pretty solid, but they crit the Landers, which... and the speed drop, that's really bad. Because I could at least U-turn out. Oh my goodness. That is not great for me. Alright. Poison Jab to Torn. I don't have a play. I do not have a play, sadly. Rock Slide. I should have brought something better for Torn, I guess. Which was tough because this lead threatens Flutter Mane. I still fasten a Torn. I missed a Reel Up, but that's fine. I hit the Torn, which is actually more important to me. Okay. And I get the flinch because it's not Covert Cloak. Okay. What is this game so far? Okay. Get the Toxic Chain 2 on the Torn. Let's go, Lando. What hammer? Oh, they knock off my Lando. Huh. Here my Scarf. How slow is that Tornado? That it's slower than my Lando. Even with the speed drop. This Lando... Yeah, I wouldn't say it's insane right here, but... if Ursaluna's on the back, I don't need Intimidate at all. I think I'm just going to go for a Poison Jab into the Rillaboom and U-turn out the Rillaboom as well. Let's see if Torn goes for a Tailwind. Yeah, it is going to go for a last ditch Tailwind. So Rillaboom probably taking the knockdown on Lando, I'd imagine. Oh, it's just going to knock off. What are they setting up for? They have Urshifu, and I don't remember what else is in the back here, but I think they're losing Rillaboom, so... Yeah, I get some really big damage into the Rillaboom. I get a Toxic Chain again, but it doesn't matter because I get a U-turn off into the Rillaboom anyway. Also, it's like pretty high chance I get like some kind of poison. So Rillaboom eliminated. Perfect. It's a free swap, and I get to keep Intimidate, I suppose. Like, it could be useful for Kommo. I'm not exactly 100% certain if it will be, but, you know, it's nice to have a backup. I'm gonna go hard into Kommo right here. What word? Is it Heatran in the back? I feel like Heatran or Shifu would make a lot of sense. In that case, Kommo just cleans up the end game right here. So goodbye, Torn. I guess that's why you would knock off right here, because I'm assuming you're setting up for Heatran or Shifu end game. Are you Terra Fairy Heatran? That's going to be the big question. Urshifu does come out. Oh, it's Ursaluna. Huh. That's an interesting spot. I'm going into my Landorus here, and I'm going to go for Clangorous Soul, I suppose. I might as well just set up now. Yeah, because Ursaluna can't do anything after an Intimidate, at least for this upcoming turn. How fast is that Ursaluna? I'm kind of curious is the question, because they brought Ursaluna to town. I'm still surprised they went for a knockoff in Okidogi, if anything. I guess there are still some concerns, though. If they don't take the knockdown to Okidogi, then Landorus is in. And I don't know how much I'm going to get threatened by close combat. And again, it's at -1. I'm just trying to figure out how much health I'm going to be, because I'm taking 33% from Clangorous Soul. So we get this Intimidate off. They go for a Terra. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Ursaluna. Yep, okay, so Terra goes. Terra Water, okay. I think that should just mean Ogerpon should just win generally, but I'm not let's see. They protect. Ooh, interesting. All right, that's actually better for me. And they take the knockout on the Landers. That's actually best case scenario that they take out the Landers. Okay, that's really good. Because now I get the free... I don't take any health on Kommo, so that means I get a free Clangorous Soul right here. That is really good. Free Clangorous Soul, able to set up, and now this end game looking really good with a +2 Kommo that can just dish out a ton of damage. I wonder if it knocks out Urshifu though. That's going to be a big question. Growth Spray. And then Grassy Terrain Healing, which is actually pretty important. Flame Orb activates. We'll see how bulky, I guess, this is. I'm going to Ogerpon because I think they have to respect Ogerpon. It's such a big threat to them. It literally knocks out their entire team. So I think they might have to target down to Ogerpon, which means I'm trying to bait attacks here. My turns of L1-2. Okay. I'm going out into Okidogi here, and I'm going to go for a Clang Scales, and let's just see how well this performs, I suppose. Because I'm trying to see if I can figure out a position where I can outspeed, but we'll find out. Okidogi in. Surging Strikes into what was the Ogerpon. Yep. Alright, let's see how much damage we do to Urshifu with Clang Scales. But we do move before the Ursaluna. Doesn't do enough damage to Urshifu. That's kind of the downside to Timid. Facade coming out. Kommo surviving, though, is pretty clutch, though. Okay. Oh, I don't know. This is going to be super close, actually. I do have Ogerpon, but still. Terra Dark doesn't save me here. So it's gonna do a lot. They should close combat to Kommo-o. Or Surging Strike to Kommo-o. Either one makes sense here. Maybe I should Clangorous Soul again. I feel like the damage would be super close though. I guess we're just gonna take the knockout in our Urshifu if we can and protect the Kommo-o. I mean, Kommo-o's not moving this turn. Is it just going down to the attack? Yeah. Okay. And then Ursaluna is going to outspeed and KO the Okadogi. Taking Flame Orb. Kevin Peter's out, so Ogerpon's faster. Would I rather bank on living a -1 facade or Surging Strikes here? They could also protect the Urshifu. If there's Scarf Urshifu, I do lose the game. As it goes to protect and doesn't get Spiky Shield affected. I think I just have to go for Ivy Cudgel into the Urshifu, pick up the knockout, and then hope I can live a -1 facade. If they Aqua Jet though, that's also another play they could make, an Aqua Jet and a facade, but it's a read-based turn regardless. Okay, I got it right. I think this gives me my best outs. Urshifu goes down, perfect. Facade. Ogerpon is insane. Okay. Oh my goodness. And I don't have an inaccurate move, so I can just Woodhammer the Ursaluna. Okay. Kommo-o, living the facade, not KOing the Urshifu. Trying to think if there's like a better game plan that I had. No, I think I just had to go for like the damage that I needed. Rough starts though, like the rough turns were definitely something, but I'll definitely take it. I got rid of Torn. I set up our Clangorous Soul position, and then like I don't even know what happened afterward. I guess Clang Scale's not knocking out Urshifu at -2. Ugh. That's the problem of running Timid Kommo-o, but you do need to outspeed like Fluttermane with Timid, unfortunately. So the downside of running Timid, not getting the knockouts, unfortunately, even at +2, but thankfully still came back in that game, got the reads right in the end game. As it was either having to read what the Urshifu was doing between Surging Strikes, Aqua Jet, or Protect, and then the Ursaluna as well, because attack into a Protect or attack into Aqua Jet lost me the game. Thankfully, I got it right. All right, Politoed, Basculegion, Rillaboom, Galarian, Zapdos, Tornadus, and Goldengo. All right, so some pretty big threats. That Basculegion with Swift Swim can definitely be terrifying. The Galarian Zapdos is also another Pokemon I do have to watch out for. So Kommo-o, I do want to set up. It's really strong here if I position it correctly. Fluttermane is pretty solid under Tailwind. Okay, I do want to bring Torn. Torn is really good here. Torn Kommo-o is actually really good straight off the bat. Actually, no. I want to get rid of Dare Torn first before I do anything. I want to say it's probably Fluttermane Torn. Or maybe Ogerpon Torn. Both kind of work in a way. Maybe it's Ogerpon and then have Landorus Kommo-o in the back. I'm just worried about a gold lead, which is why I want to lead Ogerpon potentially. Because gold is actually pretty scary offensively if they lead like Choice Specs Goldengo next to Torn, because I'd have to choose like getting Tailwind and then I can't pick up the knockout into their gold. I think gold Torn would actually be like one of their strongest leads. I don't really have the best for it. So I just want to prevent that. Like any other lead, I think is very playable, like, and otherwise. So I think it's like a pretty good mid ground. Where I see Politoed Basculegion, so I can Sunny Day immediately, which is nice here. Okay. So I lead Ogerpon plus Tornadus. I want to get rid of the Politoed because Do I want to get rid of Politoed? If I get rid of Basculegion, I don't know what the Politoed has that can set up. I do want a Sunny Day immediately. And Woodhammer slot. I want to say I Woodhammer the Politoed though, because I can target the Basculegion the next turn. You know what? Let's just Woodhammer here. We're going to see a Terra be committed immediately. Okay, so I don't have to worry about Terra on any others. We're going to see Basculegion. Is this Terra Grass? Terra Water. Huh. Is this Helping Hand Aqua Jet KOing my Torn turn 1? I don't think it does. They do go for the Aqua Jet, so I was kind of right on the money. Oh, if they Helping Hand, that actually would have been really... would have been terrible? Not really. I get my Citrus Berry back, which is nice. I'm thinking like if they did Helping Hand, I guess I would just go Kommo and follow me. I guess it wouldn't have been so bad, but definitely wouldn't have been ideal. Woodhammer gonna KO the Politoed, so Politoed goes down. Great. That does power up its last respect though, so I got to be cautious of this Basculegion. All right. So good Sunny Day start. Nice sunny start right here to the day. Let's see what's going on in the afternoon. Rillaboom coming in. Interesting choice here. Okay. Are they trying to last respect? This is a perfect timing to just go for a Tailwind right here and just go for a Spiky Shield. If they KO the Torn, that's completely fine by me. Then I get in Kommo, I click Woodhammer into the Basculegion, I click Clangorous Soul, and then I think it's a wrap. I'll take it. So they can go for a fake out like Wave Crash into my Torn. I'm completely okay with that. I'd very much welcome that actually, so let's see. But I could see this just being fake out last respect and them like praying that I mess up somehow. The Spiky Shield. I don't even need the Tailwind to win this, realistically. They do fake out the Torn. This Wave Crash? Aqua Jet again. Okay. Is this KO? I didn't think it did. Alright. Don't know what was expected here. I'm just gonna Tailwind Woodhammer because I don't think Rillaboom can do much here. And I do want to get rid of the Basculegion. Okay, they retreat Basculegion, which is smart. Let's see who they're bringing in. Zapdos. Okay. I'm doing an okay amount of damage. This is probably Grassy Glide in a Torn then. Alright. Ooh, Grassy Seed. That's scary. Alright. Get the Tailwind up with the Torn. How much does Woodhammer do? Yeah, Torn goes down. Not too surprising. This might be just a Clang Soul, just a Clang Scales angle. Woodhammer doesn't do that much to Zapdos, yeah. Huh. I'm gonna go into Kommo. I'm not going Landorus for obvious reasons. Going to Kommo. This might be a Clangorous Soul. They would probably Brave Bird to Kommo. I don't think they're expecting a Terra from me. I'm gonna go for Ivy Cudgel here into... Could follow me as well. I don't know if I want to follow me actually. I think... How many turns of Sun are left? 2? Yeah, there's 2 turns of Sun. Okay, I think I'm gonna Ivy Cudgel the Rillaboom so they can't pivot rotate. And Terra Steel on the Brave Bird. Because they probably click Brave Bird expecting either follow me or something else. So I feel like that this is their best play. They go for Grassy Glide into the Kommo, which is perfectly fine. I take it extremely well. I just don't want them to have fake out rotation against my Landorus Kommo endgame. And if they Brave Bird, they have to take a lot of recoil or acrobatics. Actually, it's acrobatics in this case, huh? Okay, Clangorous Soul. And what are you doing with Zapdos? Brave Bird to Kommo would be my guess. But maybe they do target down at the threat. Kommo pretty low. They did aggro though. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think I should win off that. Because I can double the Zapdos now with Clang Scales plus the Ivy Cudgel. If I don't knock out the Basculegion with a +2 Clang Scales, I'll be pretty upset. So let's see if it does. I imagine it does. So I'm going to go for Ivy Cudgel into the Zapdos. And Clang Scales. Should be enough damage. Okay, no protects all around the board. I didn't KO Basculegion. Wow. Damn it, Kommo-o. A little bit, I don't know, disappointing. KOing the Zapdos there, perfect. So we do eliminate it, but or maybe the Basculegion, I don't know if it has bulk. Last Respect going to come out, but the game is over at this point. Kommo goes down. If they protected, I suppose it would have actually been really scary, but I was really hoping that I'd just get to knock on the Basculegion. It does go down to life orb though, so I think I would have still won anyway, regardless, even if the Zapdos protected. The Basculegion goes down, and that is the game. Oh man, Kommo +2. It's a cool setup. It's just I'm missing so many KOs. Rillaboom, Cresselia, Illumise with Heatran, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and the Urshifu. This is actually going to be a really scary game because I don't know if the Cresselia has the Terra Fairy or Moonblast. Also, Blood Moon Ursaluna also gets Moonblast, so that could be pretty terrifying. Illumise is actually kind of interesting here. I'd imagine it's like fake tier setup. That's what I'd imagine is going to be the case here. I think my best lead here is probably like Okidogi Ogerpon. It's pretty good, I think, into their team overall. I could also lead Fluttermane. Fluttermane also does threaten quite a bit. I don't know if the Illumise is going to carry Rain Dance, and this is going to be like Scarf or Shifu. That could definitely be something. So definitely a lot of threats here. I think my play is probably like Okidogi Ogerpon. Maybe Urshi. I do want to bring Kommo because it's a Surging Strike switch in. Last one is probably Fluttermane or Landorus, one of the two. They're both are like, it really just depends. I don't have a problem with Heatran. I think it's Fluttermane. Yeah, because Fluttermane can switch into more moves than Landorus. The only thing that Landorus can switch into is Rillaboom, and Rillaboom against the remaining three that I'm bringing isn't like that big of a concern. So we'll see. A lot of this game, I don't know if I can even set up Kommo. I'm using Kommo as a pivot more for Surging Strikes than I am like actually trying to set it up, because I think it's going to be really hard to set up without like any info on the Cresselia or the Blood Moon set. So we'll see. Cresselia, Ursaluna. All right. Versus Okidogi and the Ogerpon. So I'm going to go for a Snarl right off the bat and lower their damage output. And I think I'm just going to go straight for a Wood Hammer into the Ursaluna. Because if they don't protect, they get heavily punished by the Wood Hammer. If they protect, that's fine. The Snarl is still a pretty good position. I wonder who they target the next turn, Ogerpon or the Okidogi though, afterward. Okay, get a Snarl. Do I get the Toxic Chain off? Crit. Special attack drop. Looks like no poison. Okay. Trick Room. I feel like you're going to target the Okidogi. Okidogi is probably more threatening, but I'm not 100% certain. Can I afford to lose Ogerpon? It's not ideal, but it's like not necessary to win. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the attacks. I'm going to go for a Snarl. I'm going to go for a Wood Hammer into the Ursaluna. There's also a chance they try to target down to Okidogi because Okidogi is actually kind of a threat to them. They do go for a Terra. I wouldn't be surprised if they're committed to trying to just like blow up the Okidogi while they can. Terra Normal. Is this Hyper Voice? If it's Hyper Voice, I regret not Spiky Shielding. Ally Switch is fine, I suppose. Okay. It is Hyper Voice, okay. That doesn't do as much as I thought, alright. They do get Throat Spray, but since, again, I have that Assault Vest Okidogi, I'm able to take the attack really well. Here comes a Snarl. We do land, which is beautiful. Okay. Great. Special attack falls. And Wood Hammer going to come out into Cresselia for some damage. Okay. kind of want to go for close combat since I have it. I don't think they're going to ally switch again. They might Earth Power, so I kind of want to click follow me this time. I think close combat would knock out Ursaluna though. I mean, Okidogi is pretty strong, but Ursaluna is pretty bulky too. You know what? I am going to go for it. I'm going to go for follow me and I'm going to go for close combat. If they ally switch again, they ally switch again, but I don't expect it. Follow me. Oh yeah, and they also have like a really likely chance to fail too. That's right. You go for Hyper Voice again, that's fine. Ogerpon goes down, Okidogi's still around. I get a close combat off. Not awful if I get rid of Blood Moon Ursaluna. They Lunar Blessing, which is perfect because they don't get any recovery. So I kind of have gotten a lot of the Blood Moon Ursaluna turns wrong, unfortunately, but I think I should be picking up the knockout here. Or not. That's pretty weak. I guess I'm going to Kommo now. I guess this is not awful. 2 turns of Trick Room. Trying to think about the next couple turns. I think I'm going to go Flutter Mane and just... I think I have to commit my Terra here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I have to commit a Terra, and I'm going to go for Clangorous Soul. Because I'm thinking that this is probably Hyper Voice, and I'm worried about Moonblast coming out from Cresselia, so I will go for the Terra. Alright, let's see how this goes. They do just Hyper Voice again, which is not too surprising. Flutter Mane, do you take 2? You do? Okay, perfect. Yep, it is Moonblast. Okay, good. I really needed not to get special attack drop there. Okay. I really needed the sweeping potential to Kommo. Oh, actually, how am I beating Heatran? I just realized I don't have a fighting move. We'll find out, I suppose. I'm gonna go for a Shadow Ball into... Is the Kommo Protect super obvious? I feel like it is, but I have no idea if they're actually gonna read that or not, because they've been kind of making very obvious moves the entire game. I think I'm just gonna try to Shadow Ball the Cresselia. I'll Protect. Okay, they switch out Cresselia. Interesting. Is this Illumise? No, Rillaboom. Okay. That's actually still not good, though. That's still not good. I should have went for Dazzle. That was the case. Maybe this is okay. Depends on who they target here. If it's a Flutter Mane, that's fine. Okay, they did target the Kommo, though. All right. So I get a Shadow Ball off into the Rillaboom. Do about 50%, which is nice. A Spadef drop, okay. The problem is, unfortunately for me here, is they can threaten Fake Out into Earth Power on the Kommo slot now, and I can't really stop that. And this is concerning. If it's Heatran, though, it might be actually worth to sack Kommo here, as much as I'm not a huge fan of it. So I'm going to Shadow Ball, and I might as well go for the double, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go for the double. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Okay. It should be Fake Out. Yeah. Okay, so I get rid of the Rillaboom. So Rillaboom goes down. Let's see what they decide to go afterward now. They do Earth Power to Kommo, so Kommo goes down. That's fine. Okay. It's really going to come down to the last Pokemon is on their side. Because I think Okidogi plus Flutter Mane can have this. It just depends on who they bring out. If it's Crest, I Shadow Ball in to knock off that slot, I think. Because they might ally switch. Let's knock off KO. Actually, I had Poison Jab just to make sure that I KO'd Ursaluna. Yep, Cresselia coming back in. Shadow Ball should KO the Cresselia, I'd imagine, from there. So I'm going to Shadow Ball Poison Jab the Cresselia. I think it should get the Ursaluna from that range. If it doesn't KO the Ursaluna at that range, I'm going to be super sad. Let's see if it's Ally Switch or not. Yep, it is Ally Switch. Okay. So I doubled up the Crest for that reason. The question is, was it enough? Was it enough? Okay. Whew. Good thing I covered for the Ally Switch. So Blood Moon Ursaluna goes down. That thing has been a threat so far. What's the last? Is it Heatran? If it's Heatran, this is where it gets concerning. It is Heatran, okay. So I'm going to Shadow Ball the Cresselia slot. And I think I'm going to just click Snarl. I'm going to Snarl, yeah. So I should KO the Cresselia and Snarl on the Heatran. Maybe Snarl was not the right play. Maybe I should have knocked off because I want to put it in range of close combat. I don't know if close combat actually knocks out the Heatran. But I do get the Snarl off before the Heatran moves. So special attack drop. Perfect. Earth Power. This shouldn't KO. Yep, because of the Snarl. Alright, so I did get what I wanted. Also, in the rare chance that Shadow Ball didn't KO to Cresselia, I was thinking that Snarl would as a backup. So it ended up working out perfectly well. And they're leftovers. They're not the Assault Vest set, so that makes it easier for Fluttermane to do huge amounts of damage to Shadow Ball. And then a close combat should finish off the Heatran and secure it. Whew. Okay. Very, very nice. So came in clutch. I needed Okidogi alive, and yeah, because it was Heatran in the back and not Urshifu, and thankfully I did get it right. So sacking the Kommo was the best play. I also thought about sacking my Okidogi, but it definitely wasn't worth it. So glad it came in clutch there. Glad it came in clutch there. A Kommo face-off with Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, Amoonguss, Sinistcha, and Tornadus. Alright, Kommo versus Kommo. What a weird situation that we have here. Okay, I do want to go... I got a few options here. I have Okidogi and I have Ogerpon, which is really good in this mirror. I don't know if I want to bring my own Kommo here, just because this is... I wish I was Overcoat because I would be able to avoid the Spore, which would be nice here. But I don't think I really can. I don't think Landorus is too helpful in this matchup. I mean, it could be, I guess, but I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm just going to go with Okidogi plus the Tornadus immediately and then have Ogerpon and... I want to say Fluttermane. Fluttermane seems pretty solid here. I could also go with... I mean, I just don't really like Kommo into this. There is too much, I think, for Kommo to deal with, where Bulletproof is just not that great. I don't think Bulletproof stops anything on their team. And I just rather get the immediate pressure of Dazzling Gleam from Fluttermane, especially since it can help clean up like Chi-Yu that's weakened if like I don't already pick the knock on the Chi-Yu and a few others. So let's see what's going to come out here. Kommo Amoonguss, all right. So we will lead our Okidogi plus our Tornadus right here. And I'm just going to click Snarl. And I think I'm just going to taunt. Do I want to Bleak Wind or do I want to taunt? I feel like Kommo might actually just go for a Terra. Taunt seems better to me. Yeah, I think I'm going to taunt, actually. I am going to taunt the Amoonguss turn 1. Especially since this could be Protect Spore. It looks like no Protect, so I am able to get the taunt off into the Amoonguss. All right. Snarl, please. Oh, it is sound. Man, there's so many abilities that come over on. I'm surprised that it is going to be soundproof on this team. Okay, Clangorous Soul, so they get to set up. All right. Not ideal, but could be worse. Let's see. Gonna be the Throat Spray. It's so annoying having 3 really good abilities regardless. I guess I'm gonna go Fluttermane now. I wish I had Fluttermane in earlier, I suppose, over the Snarl, but I really thought the Kommo would not be soundproof. I will say that much. I'm gonna go for a Tailwind here and just go into Fluttermane, because I can force a Terra out of the Kommo potentially the next turn. If they go for a Flash Cannon immediately, great play by them, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Let's bring out our Fluttermane. This might be Pollen Puff, Self Pollen Puff into their Kommo, which would make sense here. But they do retreat the Amoonguss, which also is not as too big of a surprise here. Gonna be the Sinisha. Alright, so they get healing. Interesting seeing the Amoonguss and Sinisha combo like this. Okay. So get the Tailwind up. Clangorous Soul. So they are setting up right here. That is a +3. That's a +3 Kommo right here. All right. That's a lot of special tag. Granted, Ogerpon doesn't really care if they don't Terra. So I think right now I just go for a Dazzling Gleam right off the bat. Just do as much damage as possible because they do have to Terra. And I think I just taunt the Sinisha. I do taunt the Sinisha, right? I could Bleak Wind too, but I don't know if Bleak Wind into Dazzling Gleam will actually pick up the knockout. I also risk missing. I think I'm just going to taunt the Sinisha. Okay, we are going to see the Terra from Kommo, which is not too surprising. All right. All right, let's see. Is it Steel? Yep. Okay, perfect. The only way this goes bad is if they actually Clangorous Soul a third time. If they Clangorous Soul a third time, this is actually very problematic. We do taunt the Sinisha. Dazzling Gleam. Oh, wow. That did a lot more Sinisha than I thought. Flash Cannon going to come out, which is not too surprising. They're going to target down the Fluttermane. So Fluttermane did what I needed to do. Force the Terra out of Kommo. Now I get the free switch to Ogerpon, and I should be able to threaten the Kommo very safely here. And yeah, Machagacha, that's not going to really do too much to Torn. Yeah. Get the healing, which is fine. Leftovers? Okay. Shell Bell. All right. We're going out into Ogerpon now. Pretty sure we should knock out the Kommo with Ivy Cudgel. So I'm going to go for Ivy Cudgel into the Kommo, and I'm going to go for a taunt into the Sinistra to cover for Amoonguss potentially coming back in. Because if the Amoonguss can't Rage Powder, I can just Tailwind. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm a Fire Grass type. It really doesn't matter. Like if they get Redirection in. So I guess I could have just actually clicked Bleak Wind there. Since I'm not going for a Terra. It would have worked if I went for a Terra, but I guess I didn't need to. Sinistra gonna retreat here. Something's coming in. We'll find out which one it is. Amoonguss, yeah. But they can't really do anything. They do actually make the they do make the Protect play. I mean, this still works out for me because I can still Tail in the following turn. They're really gonna have trouble breaking through the Ogerpon though. Yeah, I just don't know what they do into this Ogerpon situation. That's the problem of running like the Grass Core right now. They're probably going to go back into Sinistra, I'd imagine. So I'm going to Ivy Cudgel with my attack boost because that should eliminate Kommo. I have one more turn of Tailwind, so I'm just going to go for a Bleak... Sunny Day. Actually, I could just Sunny Day here. Do I need the attack boost? You know what? I might as well just Sunny Day. Get that extra power. Get that extra power. Might as well. Amoonguss gonna retreat. Sinistra is probably coming in. Yep. But there really isn't that much you can do. And that's the problem with a bit too passive of a team if you're really relying on one Pokemon. If you lose that one Pokemon, it's not great for you. We will go for the Terra here for the extra attack boost. They saw that I wasn't going for the Terra earlier. I also had the crit chance, I suppose. But you know what? There's not really anything to risk by just going for Sunny Day and the Terra here. It just OHKOs to Kommo. So in body aspect, +1 attack, unless I made some crucial error. They do get a double protect. Oh, that thing gets Rage Powder. Does it? Oh my goodness. If it's Rage Powder and they got the double protect. I mean, I wasn't gonna. I don't think I would taunt in that position anyway. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. Oh wait, no, Terra does matter because I should have not Terra'd. I was right. Oh, I should not have Terra'd. Because that's why. Well, that's a throw. on my part. Yeah, I guess I wanted for safety, but really I don't think it was that safe now that I look back. Get a crit, doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I'm just going down to the Clang scales at, what is this, +3? Yeah. And it's reverse swept by Kommo-o just because of a double protect. Feels bad. Oh well. I can't break through it either because they have a Mungus too. I guess if it works in your favor. That was silly though. I had Sunny Day. All I had to do was click Ivy Cudgel and not Terra. That was such a silly mistake, but you know what? Forgetting that the Sinistra has the option to click Rage Powder was definitely a big mistake on my part, because I felt like even if Sinistra came in, I didn't really consider the double protect option, but I completely forgot that they have Rage Powder as an option, which was super silly on me. I'll never make that mistake again though. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1 was hoping +2 Kommo-o could knock out Urshifu with Clang Scales, but was not the case, but Fire Ogerpon came in clutch after getting the read right. In game 2, I got the Sun up and was able to set up Kommo-o very comfortably next to Fire Ogerpon and Sun to threaten heavy damage. In game 3, got a lot of turns wrong against the Blood Moon Ursaluna, but I made the right calls in the endgame and preserved the Okidogi for the Heatran. In game 4, just one big mistake, forgetting Sinistra has access to Rage Powder and the Kommo-o could double protect, so all I had to do was not Terra and keep my grass typing to avoid the Rage Powder. It is no Generation 7 Kommo-o. I absolutely love the Clangorous Soul Blaze, but Clangorous Soul still not a bad option, and we were able to do quite a bit of work with it. As always, you can check out the details of the team, the creator, and the one who made the recreation, as well as their video showcasing it down below in the description. Of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.